And welcome back here to the annual Ruffs Classic at Ruffs Golf Course in beautiful Horsham, Pennsylvania. This is Tom Trainer alongside Alex Chrostowski for the final group, the championship flight, the main event. It is Sunday afternoon, and a beautiful Sunday it is. As you can see, live look at the scoreboard, we have Bob Long leading the field after 3 rounds at minus 19 under par. Kyle Martin sitting at minus 10, the multiple time champion. Only one other golfer, actually, Greg Goodridge, ever to have won the tournament. And then you see first-time competitor Zach Bullock sitting there tied with Martin at minus 10. They will both be chasing down Bob Long as we get set to go underway Sunday afternoon, Ruffs Golf Course in Horsham, Pennsylvania. It looks like it is Bob Long, the leader in the clubhouse, set to tee it off.
A lot of golf yet to play, Tom. A lot of golf yet to play.
And this is Bob's first time in this position. He's played in the final group several times with Martin, and he's been the bridesmaid several times as well, but typically several strokes back. He's never been in this position with the lead going into the final round on Sunday.
You think you can hold it there, Tom?
And it's a good first ball, great first ball, I should say, from Bob Long. That released just landed just about a foot, it looked, Alex, past the rough and released all the way down. That looks to be about 8 feet. It's onto the green, onto the front of the green, about 8 feet short of the hole, and here is the multiple-time defending champion, Kyle Martin. And there's Kyle Martin, a bit hot, needs some help, and he gets a good kick back towards the green off of the bricks behind the hole on this front 9 green location. And now set to play the first-time competitor again. I can't emphasize this enough, how well and how impressive Zach Bullock has been playing.
Was that a mistake?
That was definitely a mistake there, Alex. I don't think that's what he intended. He is caught up in the rough there. Don't know what kind of lie he has, but not the way that he wanted to start. You would think that Bullock and Martin would have to be near perfect to chase down Long. The way he's been playing, he has just been in another zone this week. It's a good play. Will it check? It does it, misses the pin and rolls back. If the ball either lands past the hole in this front 9 green or takes a bounce, a pretty big bounce just past the hole, it's going to run. It is fast and getting faster by the minute this afternoon as these greens have cooked up on this front 9 green again. Anything past the hole is going to run, as you saw Bullock's ball run right there.
And you're right, Tom. It's very dry today. Very dry. Clouds are starting to clear as we begin this last round of golf at the Ruffs.
Yeah, very different from what we had yesterday, as we mentioned during the penultimate coverage.
And how's it change your strategy there, Tom? What do you do differently?
As you'll see here with Bullock, that comes racing out just past the hole. He elected to leave the flag in. I suppose he was off the green still there. I'm not sure exactly where his ball was, and he'll tap in for his par. So that's a good par save to start there for Zach Bullock, a par 4. Again, he and Martin are going to have to throw quite a few birdies and eagles, you'd think, on the card to chase down Long. And there is Martin with his eagle attempt chip, I believe. And here is Long with his eagle attempt. Putting. And it goes down. What a start for Bob Long. Quick out of the blocks.
He's not making it easy for him, Tom.
He is not making it easy. As we said, Martin and Bullock will have to play near perfect. And as you see, Martin misses the 2-foot birdie attempt, taps in for his par. So Bob Long extends his lead to 11 strokes as we go on back to the mat to hole number 2. Great start for Bob Long as he seeks his first Ruffs championship.
It's his first Ruffs championship. Tentative.
That's right, he has never won. Again, there have only been 2 winners here at the Ruffs Annual Golf Classic, and that is Kyle Martin and Greg Goodridge, both great golfers. Kyle Martin, as many of our viewers may be familiar with from years past, a Division I golfer, the scoring record holder at University of Delaware, quite a player, and Bob Long, who's a member at Tallamore Country Club, quite a player in his own right, is having quite the week. And as we said, in a position he's never been in before, Alex.
Right.
And I would ask you, how do you think he will respond, to being in this position? And he showed us right off the gates that he means business.
He does. He's going to play strong. Feels like he's going to play strong. He knows the course because he built the course.
That's
Gotta
true.
keep
He
playing.
did, along with Kyle Martin and his brother Kevin Long. And he's going to need some help. Oh, fortunate. Is that a members bounce? I think that's what they call a members bounce. Bob Long playing on the second. The liner, again, in this hole, you want to land it past the trees. I want to avoid the creek on the right-hand side. And what a bank he got off of those bricks.
No, a lucky bank. What do you call it?
And
A
here's
members
Martin.
bounce?
A members bounce, that's right.
Haven't heard that one.
Martin, wow, and Martin goes right at it, and that's unfortunate. So a big break for Bob Long, and Martin, who's just trying to keep it close, remained in contact. That ball skids all the way across the green. Unfortunate break there. And here's Bullock, and that one checks up. That could go in. Ooh. Oh, inches from a hole-in-one. I don't believe there has been a hole-in-one yet this tournament. That would have been our first. Quite a run in it. Bullock is also trying to stay in contention. What a play. And that's where you see the, I would say, the unpredictable nature of the Ruffs golf course. You see, it looked like Bullock's shot came in a little bit low, lower
fast.
trajectory, a little fast, but Martin's, runs all the way across the green, whereas Bullock's checks up and nearly trickles into the hole. It's just sliding past, and I can't see from where we are. I would imagine that Martin is fine, although it did. Let's see what he's.
We have a
see if we
term for
can-
that alleyway back there. The sportsmanship back alley is what we're calling it now, Tom.
That's right, the sportsmanship back alley. And Martin will play, backed up against the rope, his ankles in poison ivy. And there he goes, and it skids. Going back, playing ping pong now across the green is Kyle Martin. And here's Zach Bullock, tap in for his eagle. And there he is. He's saying, Bob Long, not so fast.
Is he
Staying
there?
in contention is Zach Bullock with an eagle on the second hole.
Not so fast, Bob.
And there is Kyle Martin just missing his birdie attempt, and he will tap in for par. So a bit all over the place there for Martin, but it is a par. 2 pars to start for Kyle Martin. And here is Bob Long with his eagle attempt. Two straight eagles out of the gate for Bob Long. You couldn't have asked for a better start. Seeking his first championship, you would never guess that this was his first time in the spotlight, would you, Alex?
No, not at all. In fact, I thought he won it before. That being said, what's the score like now, Tom? How much ahead is he?
Well, he extends his lead over Martin by 2 strokes, so now he is 13 strokes ahead of Kyle Martin. Bob Long currently sitting at -4 on the round, -23 overall. Bullock, who eagled himself on that hole, stays within 11 shots of Bob Long. Bullock sitting at -12.
Do you see anybody catching up to Bob, Tom?
I mean, if he keeps this up, I think he's going after a course record. I mean, the course record, I don't know if we could get some help in the booth here. I don't know, is 55.
After 4
55,
rounds?
so -15 is the course record. Bob Long not only going for his first championship, it is early, but within his sights.
Oh, 55 is 1 round to go.
As a Blue Jay,
Beautiful.
graces our presence. It's been around the golf course the past few days.
Yep.
Here's Bob on the third little par 3. Very nice. I tell you what, he is in some kind of zone right now, isn't he, Alex?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And here's Bullock set to play. Over the creek. Short little par 3. Some players elect to bank. Ooh, looks like he might have hit behind that one a little bit as he looks at the
Short,
ground
Tom.
and swipes again. Not what he would have looked for. Again, the way Bob Long is playing, Martin and Bullock really have to play near perfect. I mean,
Kinda like
they
they're
already
playing
would,
against
they already
themselves.
would have had to go for playing against the course. I mean, as always in golf. And here's the bank shot I was talking about.
Wow.
Oh no, and that is the danger. We have seen players bank it off the shed before and go back into the creek. Fortunately for Martin, there it gets caught up in the rough, but unfortunately, it is in the rough as well.
And there you see how two different techniques can land the ball in the same spot, Tom, don't they?
That's right, yes. With Bullock attempting looked maybe to be a little bit too cute. Maybe he was
Yeah.
in between strokes there.
Mhm.
And whereas Martin trying to hammer it home and just maybe, what do you think? Needs to stay out of the weight room a little bit.
Yeah, potentially either that or lay off the coffee.
Yeah, or look for the hollow.
Portion of the
Wood,
shed.
yeah.
Yeah, get the
Oh,
stud
and that one
finder out.
runs past the hole, so he will have. He's left himself about 5 feet for par. And here's Bullock surveying his lie as he goes for his second birdie attempt. Chip here for Bullock.
What do you put that at? 20 feet, Tom?
Looks more like 12 for man. It almost goes. He is also on target today. Bullock has been flirting with several nice approaches there as he taps in his par, trying to just keep it close. They are early, and here is Long for his birdie attempt. Maybe a misread. Maybe it hit a bump there, but it did seem to trickle off to the right. And here he goes. It looks like he has about. What happened there?
Is that a bug?
A bug.
Did we get
A
that?
bug. A bug whose favorite color is orange, apparently. Bob's shirt looking awful tasty.
Speak for yourself, Tom.
I typically don't eat shirts. Oh, and he misses. So maybe it has gotten in his head a little bit. Who knows? Let's see if he will find any bug spray. And I'm sorry for our viewers who are watching. It looks like our camera is okay. Our cameraman seems to have thrown out his rib. Can you throw out a rib?
How do you
From
do
laughing.
that?
Oh, he's cramping. He's working that hard. As Kyle Martin, I believe, tapped in his par. But we're going to have to double check with these scores. I believe that was a bogey for Bob Long. So the first falter for Bob Long, that bug getting in his head. And Martin, I believe, tapped in the par. But let's double check, Alex. You want to double check on
Yeah,
that?
let's get a live score update. 1 second.
Par bogey. And that was a 4 for Martin as well. So 2 bogeys there and so that short little 17-yard par 3.
2 fours and
And
a
2
three.
bogeys. This is the championship group now.
You
Final
would
group.
think it's a championship group.
17, and it's that hole showing its teeth.
Let me turn
You
around
would think
here.
it's a championship group because it is the championship group, Alex.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
What's the strategy here, Tom?
A gentleman by the name of Kevin Boswick once said that this is the truest tee
Meaning
box
what?
on the golf course. I believe the flat lie and a straight shot about a stock 40-yard pitch down to this right side front 9 green. That sounded a little chunky down in Alex.
it
That's
did.
2 in a row that he's hit a bit behind the ball.
It is, isn't it?
But he's hanging in there. Bob Long to play.
Going for his third birdie, a third eagle, I should say, after this shot of the day, the round. Wow. How do you do that, Tom?
And it looked like he sculled it.
A little bit.
And here's Martin. That looks like well played. It's going to sit. We'll roll to the hole. Ooh! And again, it gets past the hole and just keeps going. And he's going to have a quick comeback to the hole from that spot. That will be a delicate play for Kyle Martin.
Can you move that one, Tom? Can you move the ball there?
You cannot move that one.
Wow.
Yeah, it is not. It's not a man-made object. Although the tree was planted there. So, well, was it planted there, or did Mother Nature plant it there?
Well, I mean,
So,
either way, it
just
was
saying.
planted at some point, right?
Yeah.
Could have just sprouted.
That
Yeah.
is typically what plants do when they
Mhm.
first start to grow.
Here we go. This is shooting for 3 right here, Tom.
Yes.
Mm.
He seems to be, I don't know what it is, but that's a few times now he's hit behind the ball.
Out of the zone, I guess. So late in the day,
Maybe he got a little excited. This is his second round in a row. Maybe
Playing
he
a
is
lot
tired.
of golf.
So that was Martin. That was a good shot by Martin. A good second shot. So he will have a tap-in birdie, you would think, there. And here is Bullock to save par.
He's using a putter. Is that right or no?
No, he putts with a 54 degrees, and it... Oh, unkind. The rim is unkind. That looked like it went around and then dipped and wavered and wobbled and did not go down. And he taps in for a bogey and drops to minus 11.
Bogey on a par 4 or par 3 there, Tom?
Par 4. Bob is playing. And this is Bob.
Oof.
Ooh, caught up on the lip. And I'll need to get a score check there. Was that a...
It looked like 3 to
that
me.
looked like a par, I thought, for Bob Long.
Oh, then maybe 4.
To stay at minus 22. And there's Martin. Did he miss that tap-in birdie? He missed that birdie attempt just there. So I think Martin with a par.
Wow. That's 2 pars on
He
the
played. He
on the
played
hole.
very quickly there.
That was a good hole. Speed wise.
Yes, the pace was good there, but the score is not so much. Now they're going all the way back, and we have some gallery members here
Spectators being asked to move here.
joining, being asked to move. They said they will not move, but they just did. Oh, correction. Bob Long did birdie.
Did he?
So Bob Long recovering. A birdie there, back to minus 23 for the championship. And was it Kyle Martin with a par there, I believe? Missed his birdie attempt. So Kyle Martin sitting at minus 9. Zach Bullock with the bogey sitting at minus 11.
And we can't see him. Here comes one here, Tom. Who hit that?
That would be Bob Long. He did have the best score on the previous hole. I believe that was probably Bob.
Interesting shot.
Let me see if I can get a look.
Yeah, get on over there.
Now I believe it is Martin to play.
See what he goes. You got to keep it low here, Bob. Or
Keeps it
Tom.
low, gets
Sorry.
through. Yeah, Bob is playing, Alex. And he gets a good bank. Wow, what a play. If that was Kyle Martin, that's a big shot for him, possibly get him back on track. And Bullock, I believe, to play next. As they anxiously await, here comes a shot through the trees. It's another great shot.
My goodness.
As it rolls to about 7 feet outside the hole. So those 2 great shots as you see them there. Equidistant about on opposite sides of the hole. And the Blue Jay, again, walking up. He is not shy, this
Still
Blue Jay.
sticking around.
Yeah.
A friendly little fella.
And as you hear an awe from the gallery in the background, big fans of the Blue Jay
Mm-hmm.
gallery.
The gallery.
So here is Long to play his second.
Long to shoot. Practice.
And if our scores are correct, we currently have Long at minus 23, Bullock at minus 11, and Martin at minus 9 for the championship. Oh, off the pin and out. I tell you what, this guy, he is in the zone or what?
He is on fire. It might be the shirt, Tom. Could be the shirt.
Could be. What shirt is he wearing today?
That's a
Is it, Alex?
University of Florida shirt.
Where
I
did
think.
Where did he get a University of Florida shirt? Do you
You
know?
ask me, I think he got it at the University of Florida.
That's a good guess. As Bullock misses his eagle attempt and taps in his birdie. And moves to minus 12 for the championship. Martin for his eagle. Oh, and it just skids past the hole. And then
With authority there.
Yes, that was a bit of a rash tap there. Long for his birdie. And he slides it in. So that's 3 birdies there for our final group. Long sticking with an 11-shot lead over Bullock, 13 over Kyle Martin as we move on to the par 4, 6th hole here at the Ruffs Golf Classic, the side of the hill.
Oh, we're going to the side now. Man, this hole is not easy on the golfers, Tom.
And what makes this hole so difficult, Alex?
I think it's the way the tee box is set up.
What about the tee box
It's on
specifically?
basically a 45-degree angle. It really doesn't help anybody. It's hard to hit the ball. Shanks left, shanks right. You got hazards in the back, OB to your left. It's terrible.
Right, and what typically happens when you have the ball lying above your feet like that?
I want to say, Tom, that if you're a righty, it'll go to the left hard,
And that
but
is
maybe I'm
typically
mistaken.
what happens. I believe you are correct.
Thank
Alex.
you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, tough shot. Looks like Bob's going to the top of the hill there.
And we have all three golfers now in double digits under par for the championship. Long has played another beautiful shot. Will it stop? That just keeps going. Keeps going. Will it go
Down
over
the
the
hill.
bank, down into the depression,
Sayonara.
in the hazard. Wow, that's an unfortunate break for Bob Long. And he was asking for confirmation from the booth, and indeed, he could not see from his angle. No, it is not down and in the cup. Sorry to tell you, Bob. It is down and in the hazard, unfortunately. He's laughing about something, though. I think he's comfortable with his 12-stroke lead. Here's Martin.
Wow.
Plays a high shot, and that one also trickles past on their side, but he will have a look from there. Long, we can't see where his shot is. We'll see what decision he makes. We've seen a few players elect to play from the hazard in the penultimate group that just played prior to this.
Right. Well, if
And
you got a
here's
clear
Bullock.
shot, Tom, why not play it, right?
That's right, and I guess the risk would be, you just got to make sure you put it in a better spot than where your drop would potentially be, is what the hope is, correct?
Look at that.
There's Bullock. That one looks like he has pulled it a little bit left. Will he get a good kick from the shed? He'll be all right. He'll be able to pull that out. The rule at roughs is everything but the grip. So you'll be able to pull that out. No closer to the hole, but everything but the grip.
Man-made
away from the
objects,
shed,
right, Tom?
from man-made objects, yes. And again, for those of you keeping track at home, for the championship, it is Bob Long at minus 24 overall. He is minus 5 for this round through 5 holes. And it is Kyle Martin even on his round, minus 10 overall. And Zach Bullock minus 2 on his round, minus 12 for the championship. And here's Bob Long electing to play. Looks like it only just went into the hazard.
And a
Good
shot.
pace. Did well. Did well to run it. Looks like just about 3 to 4 feet past the hole. And here is Bullock. With the interesting cross grip, it looked like he attempted to putt that from just off the green, just outside the shed there. Good effort. Leaves it a foot short. And here is Martin with the chip. Leaves about 2 foot short on the other side of the hole. So all three of our players now with makeable birdie putts as Bullock puts his birdie in. Moving to minus 3 on the round, minus 13 for the championship. And here is Long for his birdie attempt. Looks like he left it just outside the hole. Oh, short, actually. My apologies. Short on that one, so Bob Long will have to settle for par, stay at minus 24. So Zach Bullock cuts into the lead, and Kyle Martin cuts into the lead. Bullock sitting at minus 13, 11 back from Bob Long's minus 24, and Kyle Martin moves to red figures on his round, 1 under par, and minus 11 for the championship as they move to the 7th hole. Alex, tell us about the 7th hole.
Well, it's in the woods, Tom.
It is the woods. It is the woods hole. Got to get it past the trees. And what makes it different from the mat hole or the way back hole, where all these holes you're dealing with trees? But what makes this one difficult?
I mean,
in
the
particular?
7th hole, you got trees right in front of you. And there's just really no clear path around it. I can't tell you how many times I've lined my shot up just to have it bounce off a tree and go into the hazards, go into the water, hit a window. It's terrible.
You've hit a window.
I have. In years past, not this year. Not by
We
choice.
had a grill, a shed. We had a few people hit this year. Fellow
Wow.
players, I believe. And that is a bank shot. That's got to hit something else again. Oh, wow. What a break from Kyle Martin. He's out here playing pool, banking it off all the walls.
Yeah. Is that a members bounce, Tom?
That is a members bounce, Alex. Yes, you're catching on. Well done. And here is Bullock to play his first from the par 4 7th. The woods hole. Steps back. played. Will he also get a kick? And it'll land very closely to where Martin's ball ended up. They will both have good looks at eagle from there. So we have Martin and Bullock, the challengers, chasing down Bob Long, attempting to stay with him every step of the way here as they try to chip away at his lead. And with 12 holes to go, Bob Long also getting a nice roll as that ball trickles up near the green. He will have a chip for eagle. Let's see how close he can put it. He's been dialed in early on, hasn't he, Alex? Especially around the greens.
Who, Bob?
Yes, Bob.
I have to agree with you on that one, Tom.
I'm glad you agree.
How does Bob use a putter?
Bob uses a 7-iron, I believe.
All the time for putts.
Yes.
Interesting
Indeed.
technique. You
Yeah,
don't really
he
see
tries
that
to
in
blade
other
it.
flights, Tom, do you?
You see a mixture of players. Bullock has been electing to use, I believe, like a 56 degree or something, and just blading it, which is dangerous because you can easily miss hit and get under the ball and pop it up. But these are talented players. And there's Bob with his chip, and he'll run it up about 3 feet from the hole. That's well played. He will have that left for birdie. And looks like it is Bullock to play first. Again, this will be fast. Coming back from behind the hole, back up the hill, but it will be fast.
Ooh, not fast enough, though, Tom. He couldn't get it in there.
Not fast enough. Maybe the speed was in his head, but he'll tap in for his birdie. Well played by Zach Bullock as he tries to hang on, and Kyle Martin cannot convert on his eagle attempt. He will tap in for birdie as well. Heck of a round going by these guys.
Yeah, I'll say.
And here's Bob Long to maintain his distance with his own birdie attempt from 3 feet, and he knocks it home.
Would you look at that?
Bob Long trying to keep the door shut as he seeks his first championship with 12 holes to play at the Ruffs Annual Golf Classic.
12
I'm
holes
sorry,
to play,
11
Tom?
now. 11 now,
thank you.
yeah. I'm stuck in the past. Or can't do math, one or the other.
Leave that up to the viewers. Tom, how about the weather forecast for this afternoon? Do you see rain in the forecast?
There are some dark clouds rolling in, it looks like, from the west.
I know, it might.
That is typically where clouds come from, I suppose.
Is it?
Yeah. So we have Bob Long as Martin plays the...
Wow.
Oh, that's got to stop. And it does stop for Martin. It does stop for Martin, gets caught up just before the creek. Bullock will play next. Bullock sitting at -14 for the championship, -4 for his round, and he elects to go around the shed, the conservative play. This is the par 3, 8th hole, 19 yards. Again, I'd say, would you say about an equal number of players attempt to go over as do go round? And where does Bob Long elect to go, Alex?
Well, we'll find that out, but I'd say an equal amount of players do elect to go around as over. As Bob, look at that, taking advantage of the sportsmanship back alley, as we call it now.
He is going for the championship in the championship flight, but he has been known to play that sportsmanship back alley quite often. Bob Long sitting at a cool -25 under par as Bullock chips for his birdie, and it looks like, again, he hits behind the ball, so that's been a bit of a miss hit. That has been the miss for Bullock in this final round, and, ooh, Martin won't be happy with that, leaving himself about 6 feet putt for par. Here's Long playing from behind the hole again. This will be quick. Actually, it looks like it got caught up. Looks like he hit. That's that danger, Alex, trying to blade the ball. Looks like he hit a bit under it.
Yeah, popped it up. Didn't get the forward momentum that he wanted there, Tom, did he?
That's right. And here is Bullock to save par. Oof. He tried to will its way in with his body language, but it did not want to go.
Nope.
He taps in for bogey, so drops a stroke going to back to -13.
Ooh.
Martin runs his par attempt by. So again, par 3. Oh, and nearly,
lethal.
yeah, puts his bogey in, and Bob Long to save par and gain a stroke. And he misses to the right. So the par 3-8, the shed hole. First time around for these guys that they will have to play a par 3 over the shed. Showing its teeth, a bogey for all three of our final round championship flight players. So now it is Bob Long maintaining his 11-shot lead over Zach Bullock as we go to the final hole on the front nine, the cage hole, which has this year become known as the Cage of Death. That cage has, named by one Brandon Culp. So, the Cage of Death, you don't want to find yourself in there.
No.
It is deadly, as the name would suggest.
No, and it did determine the tournament flight earlier today, Tom, didn't it?
It did. Tell our viewers about the tournament, end of the tournament flight. It was thrilling battle to the wire into extra holes, playoff holes between Dan Gallagher and Mike Kraus. Alex, tell our viewers who unfortunately missed that tournament flight earlier today about what went down.
Sure, yeah. Dan Gallagher and Mike Kraus went into a extra, what do you want to call it, Tom? Extra holes? An
Playoff
extra
holes,
round?
yep.
A playoff round.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, Dan Gallagher came in second with Mike Kraus taking the victory there after having, come back in the final 9, Tom? Is that right?
As we see Zach Bullock get caught up there. Yes, as you were saying, so Dan Gallagher has been known to finish strong, and he came charging home this year. Had to make a putt to force the playoff on the 18th hole, and then they actually ended up having to play an extra playoff hole before Mike Kraus put it away for his championship. And, of course, he will move up to the championship flight next year.
Congrats.
Both of those players may very well find themselves in the championship flight next year.
Yeah, Bob, has it been decided how that championship flight will be determined
I don't know if
next year?
Bob can hear you. He's over there.
Oh, sorry. I keep saying Bob, don't I? You know what I mean,
okay,
Tom.
yeah,
You
I
know what
gotcha.
I mean.
There's Bullock. That is a good shot for his second. Par 4, tough hole, and that will run back about 6 feet. It looks he'll have left for his birdie attempt. A good effort from there to stay in contention by Zach Bullock. And here is the pitch attempt. A runner.
Oh, my goodness.
Well done by Kyle Martin, rather. And he will have about 4 feet left for his birdie attempt. And here is our leader, Bob Long. His approach on the par 4 ninth, running it in there just outside of Kyle Martin's ball. He will have that about 5-6 foot putt left for his birdie. So birdie putts coming up for all three of our players here in this final round at 2018 Ruffs Golf Classic.
We'll have to see if the weather can hold out here. Temperature's definitely dropping, Tom. Wouldn't you agree?
Temperatures dropping, wind picking up. And it looks like it is Zach Bullock set to play first. And he seems to have run his birdie attempt just past the hole. He will tap in for his par. That's a good par, I'd say, for Zach Bullock, given where he was after hitting the net on his tee
Exactly.
shot.
Well-deserved par, Tom.
Here's Bob Long for his birdie attempt. Bob Long misses his birdie attempt, runs it past the hole. So all three of our players there. All three of our players there, missing there.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, some technical difficulties here. I don't know if you can hear us at home or not. But we cannot hear ourselves. Oh, there we go. We are working out the technical difficulties. All right, they have been figured out. The players are adding up their scores. Let's see how they compare to ours. But currently we have Zach Bullock with a 31 -3 for his front nine, so he sits at -13 for the championship. Have Bob Long sitting at minus 24 for the championship. That was a minus 529 on the front nine we had.
Wow.
For Bob Long, and a minus 133 for Kyle Martin, sitting minus 11 for the championship.
So, Tom, what's Bob got to shoot on the back nine to get the course record?
Well, the course record is 55.
Right.
So he would have to shoot a 26 on the back nine.
Does that look doable?
Well, the par on the back is 36, so he'd have to shoot 10 under par. 31, so we missed a few strokes there. Don't know where we went wrong, but they have 31 for Kyle Martin as well. Our math could have just been incorrect, but so that our scores have been corrected. So a 29, minus 5 front for Bob Long, a 31, minus 3 for both Zach Bullock and Kyle Martin. Both of those players sit at minus 13 for the championship. They are minus 13, Bob Long at minus 24, 11 strokes ahead, again, seeking his first championship as they go back to the hillside tee shot, or I should say the downhill tee shot on the 10th hole. And this left side green on the back nine here, Alex, pretty fast.
Yeah, it's a quick one, especially if you hit it past the hole there by Tom. Tom, I caught myself there. You tend to just roll into the hazard, don't you? Quick. It's very dry, like we mentioned today. So, ooh,
again behind the ball.
And what happened there?
I don't know if he's failing to get his weight forward. I haven't been close enough to see what exactly the issue has been, but that is now a handful of times that it seems that Zach Bullock has seemed to duff or catch the ground before the ball.
Could also just be the slope.
Unlike him. Could be the slope. I believe he did that on the first hole, the same tee box. And there's Bob Long playing through the net. He gets caught up in the net.
And what do we call the net now, Tom?
It is known as the Cage of Death, so named by Brandon Culp, one of our competitors for the first time this year in the sportsmanship flight. Was Brandon.
Welcome, Brandon.
And here is Zach Bullock playing his second.
Oh,
well done. Oh, almost hopped it in. It trickles past. He will have about 6 feet left for his birdie.
6 feet or a little
another
less.
Great recovery. I'll tell you what, Zach Bullock has been scrambling very well in this final round. Not playing his best, but still minus 3 on that front nine.
He's holding his own, Tom.
And again, you just can't say enough about how well Bob Long has played in uncharted waters for him. Pressure like he's never faced, I'm sure, at this tournament before.
Sure. So you're talking about the atmosphere, not necessarily the course.
Well, the lead on Sunday.
Okay.
So, yeah, the atmosphere, having the lead over a multiple-time defending champion Kyle Martin, as Bob narrowly misses his eagle attempt there.
With such a
Man,
big lead, though,
in.
Tom, don't you suppose you'd feel a little bit more relaxed as you're playing these last couple of holes?
I would think so, but he's got to be thinking, you know how competitive Bob is. He's probably thinking record, man.
Right, but like
and
you just said, it's
Zach
going to
Bullock
take
with
a lot.
a tap-in for par, I believe. Again, I say believe because as we just found out, our scores were wrong for the front nine. Good thing they got corrected. We had Kyle Martin off by 2 strokes. Just to confirm, he was minus 3 on the front nine, as was Zach Bullock, as Kyle Martin taps in for birdie there. Again, we couldn't see his first shot. We don't know if that was his first shot or if he had to drop. We'll have to get confirmation as the players walk back this way. And there's Bob Long tapping in for his birdie. He moves to back to minus 25 for the championship, minus 6 on the day.
Minus 6 for the day. It's a 4-3-4 there.
Yes. All right. So that was a par for Bob Long, not a birdie, and it was indeed a birdie for Kyle Martin.
They've got some catching up to do, but that's not to say it can't be done, Tom.
So if my math is correct, I have Bob Long still at minus 24. Kyle Martin now sitting at minus 14 and minus 4 for his round. He will play first from the par 5, the only par 5 on the golf course, the par 5 11th back on the mat, going through the trees. There is a small gap there that you will see The more skilled players go through, like Martin. See, and he makes it through easily, and that's going to roll all the way down. He will be able to move that out. Looks like it went underneath the shed, but he will be able
Can
to
you move those ones out?
move that out from the man-made object. He will have that look at an albatross coming up after this.
Yep. Wow.
Bullock playing through the trees. Oh, that's a bad bounce, but he fortunately gets caught up and does not go down into the creek. Again, a par 5. The only par 5 on the golf course. This back 9 is a 36, the front 34. Long to play his first on the par 5 11th.
Wow.
Ping pongs through the trees, but it looks like he will have a look from that angle. Can't quite tell, but it looks like he will have a look at the flagstick from there.
That's why it is a par 5, Tom, because you never know what's going to happen once the ball leaves the ground.
Is that why it's a par 5?
I think so, yep.
You'd think you'd have some idea generally of what the ball's going to do once it leaves the ground.
But with all the trees, it's hard to predict.
Right. Bob Long is safely out. So is this an indication, Alex, you think of what Bob will do coming in here? Do you think he will play safe? So, I mean, you don't want to get caught in the trap of playing to not lose, correct?
No, you don't, 'cause that puts a lot of pressure on yourself, both physically and mentally. He's just got to play his game. Hit pars the whole time, make sure the other guys don't creep up too much, and bring it on home.
So here's Bob Long chipping his third, the par 5 11th. As you see Kyle Martin getting down on his belly to retrieve his golf ball, and now grabbing a club to retrieve his golf ball.
I
On
kind
his
of
head,
say a
Bob
stroke
Long,
there,
Bob
Tom.
Long taking a, that is not a stroke. Does he need to identify his golf ball, Alex? What was the question? Oh, he has lost his golf ball, but I believe he has identified it, Alex.
He's
Well,
identified
but
the
that's
ball.
not out of bounds or in a hazard, I believe. Anyway,
right,
it's
it's
a
a
man-made object.
Man-made. Nothing we can do about it. Nothing Kyle can do about it other than get a new ball and play how it lies.
And here's Bob Long, the leader, minus 24, playing his third. That took a bad kick to the right. He'll have that left for birdie.
Here we have incoming. Where'd this come from, Tom?
Came from Dan Gallagher. Again, we hope Seamus Morgan, the namesake of the Sportsmanship Award, was watching that. Dan Gallagher. The sportsmanship has been great this week, Alex.
It's just overall the camaraderie here is superb, and that's why we only allow certain types of people to become members here at the Roughs, Tom. Let me tell you.
Here is Kyle Martin playing his albatross approach, so he will have that 3-footer left for eagle.
Albatross.
So can he
real
put some
quickly?
pressure on late?
Ooh. Kyle, you're saying.
Can Kyle put some pressure on Bob late? Make things interesting. Here is Bullock for his, I believe that was for par. And that, I believe, was a tap in. That was par. Tap in 5, I believe, for Bullock. Here is Long for his birdie attempt. Does not go down, so Long, I believe, tapping in now for his par. And that looks to be a 5 for Bob Long, staying at minus 24 for the championship, minus 6 on the round. And Kyle Martin sinking his eagle putt to move to minus 16 for the championship, minus 6 on the day. He is now 9 shots back of Bob Long with 7 to play. Do you think 9 with 7 to play, do you think that is any sort of pressure yet?
No, not yet. I say give it 4 shots.
It's got to get to within 4 shots with how many to play?
4 left.
Okay, if you can get it to 4 with 4.
Do you agree with that, Tom? Or
If he gets it to within 4 with 4, for sure. So that means he needs to. That means he would need need to gain 5 shots here on these next 3 holes.
So be it.
And here we go on the par 4 12th. Over the creek and over the shed. And he's over the creek, over the shed. Will he go out of bounds? No, he gets caught up. Oh, that is down in the depression there, over by the fence. That, I can't see his ball from here. He is probably down in a pretty undesirable lie there, you'd imagine. Here's Bob Long on the tee at the 12th. And he elects to go safely around the side of the shed, so you have a good look there, a good chip for his second shot. And here is Zach Bullock trying to stick, trying to hang in there with Kyle Martin and Bob Long in this final group. Looks like he's going over. And he is trying to go over. That's a good shot.
Over?
Oh, no, he was going around. Had he elected to go over, I believe it would have just made it over, it looked like. But he was going around. He did have the trajectory, did have the height for it if he had wanted to, but makes the safe play to go around, and he will have that left. I can't tell. Was that in the rough?
I can't see either, Tom. I'm not standing up. I think he's safe. What, is he good there, Tom?
I believe he is in the so-called fairway, yes. Down in the depression, I believe, here in front of this back 9 green. Here's Long playing his second, and just to the right goes Hidla. Looks like he still has about 5 feet coming back for birdie now. And here's Bullock playing his second. That's well played, and that is an eagle for Zach Bullock on the par 4 12 to stay in contention, moving to minus 15, trying to hang on. Again, this is just his first tournament, and he has been so good around the greens. Here's Kyle Martin playing his second. Fortunate that stopped just short of out of bounds. So that was minus 5 Zach Bullock moved to with that eagle. What a nice chip that was.
Sunk right in there. He got a little bit of help from the flagpole as well, Tom, it looked like.
So here is Long for his birdie. Left himself more work than he's been giving himself previously. Looks like he was distracted by something across the way. Now he focuses back on his ball. Oh, and sneaks it in. That looked like to have a bit of a curve on that ball. Good read by Bob Long to put in his birdie. Moving back to minus 25. That was the same putt that Dan Gallagher hit just over an hour ago to force a playoff with Mike Krause, I believe. And there was Kyle Martin, I believe, with a par there. So we had an eagle, birdie, and a par on the par 4 12th. And now Bob Long sitting with a 9-shot lead, again at minus 25, Kyle Martin at minus 16, and Zach Bullock at minus 15 for the championship as we move to the par 4 13th, back to the truest of the tee boxes here at Ruff's Golf Club. Back to the top of the hill by the clubhouse.
Truest of the true, and it's a tough angle for us, Tom, but
Yeah, you have to crane your neck there, Alex. And it will be Zach Bullock coming off his eagle on the 12th, first to play.
takes a lot of grass up with that one, Tom.
He did on the par 4 13th.
Up and in the rough. The course's namesake.
Caught up in the rough. Did it look like he hit? That was a little chunky again, did it look,
Yeah,
Alex?
it did. Like you've been saying the whole time. Not getting a lot of power behind the ball, Tom. Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, it would indicate that his weight is not on his front. There's Bob on with a great kick going towards the hole, and now it's got to stop. That just kept going, and it stopped just short of the hazard. He'll be fine from there, and here goes Kyle Martin. Trying to keep it close. Well, you said 4 with 4.
Right, he's got some work
And
to do.
they have 6 to go, and he's 9 back. And that looks like he got caught up in the rough, and now it goes down into depression. All right, yes, so confirming scores. Bob Long -7 for the day, -25 for the championship. 9-shot lead over Kyle Martin, who is -6 on the day, -16 for the championship. And sitting just behind Martin in third is Zach Bullock, playing his second now. Oh, and it looks like he gets caught up. He's just onto the front of the green. He is sitting at -5 for the day, -15 overall. And here is Martin to play. Again, from this depression area, which we've seen a lot of odd bounces, and the ball come out in unpredictable ways. Ooh, and it looks
How
like
about
he
that?
didn't trust it there. It looks like he decelerated as he went into the golf ball there, and seems to have just trickled it just onto the edge between the rough and the green there.
So is he on the green there, Tom?
Looks like he might only just be, yeah. Here is Long to play from back near the hazard. Second shot. After a shot that landed, it looked to be in the rough or only just past the rough and ran all the way across the green, almost into the hazard. Here's Long for his second on the par 4, 13th. And he runs it about 4 feet past the hole. He will have that for birdie. Takes out the flag stick, it looks like. So Martin must be on the green. He does have his putter out. He will be first to play for birdie. And looks like he leaves it short. So he will clean that up for par, will Kyle Martin. Staying at -16 for the championship, -6 on the day. Next to play, Zach Bullock, -15. Sitting in third place. Again, using the base of his, I believe it is a 56 degree or something around that loft. For his, that it was a par, I believe, for Zach Bullock. Here's Bob Long for his birdie attempt to extend his lead.
Ouch.
Ouch again is right. So that is 4 pars. Well, and Bob, don't let me speak too soon. I did speak too soon. My apologies. Wait, did... Okay, so that was a bogey for Bob Long. Drops a shot, so his lead, he's back to -25 for the championship. His lead is back, no, he's back to -24, I'm sorry, for the championship. His lead is now 8 with 5 holes to go. Is Bob Long seeking his first championship at Ruff's Golf Classic.
See if we can get the golfers in the shot there. This hole's not quite as far back as other ones. That's the long hole, Tom.
Way back. This is, I believe, the longest hole in the golf course, 56-yard, par 4, 14th hole.
Past the shingles, as Bob likes to say.
Past the shingles again. Will we see one of these players try to go over the trees as they look to score, close the gap on Bob Long?
It's a high risk, high reward shot.
That was a low shot. That was not going over the trees. And that is now short on this side of the shed.
Quite the opposite there, Tom, from what you were saying.
You don't know if that was a mishit or if that was the play. Can't tell from where we are. And if I had to guess, that was probably Zach Bullock. There comes a screamer. That's got to slow down as it skids and settles on the other side of the green. So we have 2 balls on this side of the shed, with still quite a bit of work cut out for them on this par 4 14th.
One ball on the other side,
And
right,
one
Tom?
ball just on the back of the green. And again, Bob Long with a 8-stroke lead with 5 holes to play. This 2018 Ruffs Annual Golf Classic, minus 24. And it looks like Bob Long is indeed one of the players still with work left out. Looks like he has about 20 yards left to the hole for his second shot. And it will be Long first to play. Long sends it to the other side of the green as well. He will have a long birdie putt coming up, and here's Zach Bullock.
That rolled quite a bit there.
That did, similar to his tee shot on the 13th. And that will settle in. Looks like 10 feet left for birdie for Zach Bullock. And here's Kyle Martin, his eagle putt. How interesting will he make it as we come down to the final few holes? Oh, just left, and it looks like he must have been off the green. He elected to leave. He was putting, but elected to leave the flag in there. He will have about 3 feet left for birdie. And here is Long with the flag stick still in. This also for birdie.
Ooh.
And he leaves it short, so he will have 3 feet left for his par. And Zach Bullock next to play.
Everyone's getting close here, Tom. No one's gotten in the hole yet.
That's right. Closer and closer as he runs it by the hole. Just right of the hole, and we'll tap in a par for Zach Bullock to remain at 15 under par for the championship. And here's Long for his par. And he rattles it home. Bob Long staying at minus 24 for the championship. Here's Kyle Martin for a birdie. And Lee looks like he left it just short. So that was another opportunity for Martin to cut into Bob Long's lead, but it was not meant to be. So it is still Bob Long with an 8-shot lead, minus 24 under par, and Martin 8 shots back, minus 16, with Zach Bullock just behind at minus 15 as we move on to the 15th hole. Four holes to play. This is the side of the hill hole. Alex, again, one of the more interesting holes on the golf course.
Right, yeah, we've said it once, we've said it again. It's an interesting tee box, but Tom, let me tell you, with 4 holes to play, bar some calamitous event, I can't see this tournament going any way other than a Bob Long championship. Do you agree right now?
That's right, and you can sense the excitement in the gallery. A lot of folks have hung around, excited to see Bob Long, the founder of this event, co-founder, I should say, seeking his first championship. I know it would mean a lot to him, a lot to his fans and his friends and family.
Right, being in Horsham, PA, where he grew up, where he learned to golf, where he practiced golf, where he plays
at
golf.
His house, or his childhood home, I should say.
Childhood home.
Bob Long, yeah, a new homeowner is Bob Long, set to be married this coming fall is Bob Long. His beautiful fiance Mara is here today. I'm sure she is just super excited. Can't wait to see him coming off the 18th green.
Smiles all around here, Tom. Smiles all around.
He's looking at it. Oh, it'll roll past. We can't see what lie he has. He was staring that down. I think Kyle Martin thought he had a good one there, but it took an unfortunate bounce, and I would imagine is in the hazard. Here is Bob Long playing his first on the par 4 15th. And that sit down. It takes over the stump of the tree, or the stump, I shouldn't say, the trunk of the tree.
Up and over.
So I believe Martin and Long are both in the hazard. Again, Alex, what do they have to do when the ball goes in the hazard?
Well, they have to find it and identify it as theirs. Number 1. And beyond that, they have a choice. They can hit the ball or they can move it out and take a stroke. Generally speaking, though, Tom, you see on this course a lot of players electing to hit the ball in the hazard, especially the hazard behind the holes there.
And it's a risky move. You would think at this stage of the competition, behind a tree, Long will elect, and it looks like that is what he's planning to do. Will drop, so he'll play his third.
First
from
identified.
just outside the hazard line. He has identified and found his golf ball.
And there's the drop.
The drop.
Excellent observation.
We do
Tom.
not know if Martin is doing the same.
Can we
looks
see
like Martin
him?
will play first. It looks like Martin must be playing his ball.
Well, he has to at this point. He can't afford it.
And that is well played, if indeed that was his first shot from the hazard. Long to play his third. Ooh, runs it past, so he will now have 8 feet left for par. Here's Bob Long to save par. Runs it past the hole. He will now have about 3 feet left for bogey. Oh, Bob Long.
Is that a
Here's
par
Zach
3,
Bullock
Tom?
for eagle. It is a par 4, and he runs it well past the hole. He will now have a considerable putt left for birdie. Here is Bullock's putt for birdie. And he sinks it, moving into a tie currently with Kyle Martin at minus 16. And there is Martin. What a birdie save, playing it out of the hazard. Takes the risk, and it pays off for Kyle Martin. He moves to minus 17. Bob Long for bogey. And he sinks his bogey putt. The lead is now at 7 with 3 to play. At 6. At
Really?
6 with
With
3 to
play?
play. Bob Long at minus 23. Martin with a birdie there on the par 4 15th at minus 17. And Zach Bullock at minus 16. 3 holes to play. Again, that's Bob Long, our leader, at minus 23. 6 back, Kyle Martin at minus 17. 7 back at minus 16, Zach Bullock. 3 holes to play. The 2018 Ruffs Annual Golf Classic in Horsham, Pennsylvania. Again, this is Tom Trainer, along with Alex Chrostowski. Kevin Long on camera. Happy to have you with us. Happy to all of the patrons who have stayed around, enjoying what has been a fantastic final round as they clap for our final group competitors coming back to the 16th tee. Yes, Bob Long did look a little confused. The leader confused as to why the gallery would be clapping for him. He is leading the golf tournament.
And Bob, sorry, not Bob, Tom. You have to say,
Hey, Bob's still playing.
these last 3 holes, nothing's guaranteed. You have a shot from the woods, and look at that, Tom. Who shot that?
That was Zach Bullock. Well
Zach
played.
Bullock. Well played indeed.
He is hanging around. Again, just his first tournament here at Ruffs. And we hope to see a lot more of Zach Bullock in the future.
He
Quite
did
a
his
player.
homework, didn't he, Tom? Zach did his homework.
Ooh. And back into the broadcasting booth. We're going to have to get a ruling on this.
How's he going to play that?
Kyle
My
Martin.
goodness.
I think we will probably have to move the table here.
You do
Move
play
the
it as,
cords.
as it lies
He will
here
have
at the Ruffs.
he'll have to play where it lies, but I believe we will move our equipment for Kyle Martin.
We'll have to see about that one, Tom.
But first, Bob Long to play his first at the par 4 16th. Off the tree as well. This is getting interesting, Alex.
What did I tell you, Tom? It's not over yet.
Well, you told us 4 with 4 to go, and it is 6 with 3 to go. But what is Bob Long going to do? It looks like he's behind a tree. It looks like he's going to make the safe route, coming directly at the camera. Will his brother Kevin Long have to move?
Well, I'm not moving. Are you moving, Tom?
He's coming right at us.
Play it as it
And
lies.
it's well played. Good out by Bob Long. Nice conservative, smart play. And here we are. Let's get a live look in as they move the.
I'm gonna need a ruling here.
Oh, he will get relief.
I had to mark it before you picked it up.
But that is not his fault because Kyle Martin did not move the ball. So he can drop it.
And why are we moving the chairs here, Tom?
So Martin was able. Martin was able to take an unplayable there, man-made object. The camera will again have to move, and he needed to drop where that chair was located to have a look at the hole. So the chair was also moved. Let's see if he can put it close. Put the pressure on Bob Long.
We're getting a good look at him here, Tom, aren't we?
Well set. Gallard asking for it to get in the hole, and it will check up. He will have that look for birdie. Well, Kyle Martin, hey, we know he's a winner, multiple-time defending champion here at Ruffs. You know who's going to make it interesting. Here's Long with his third. Well played. Good hop. Oh, almost sunk it, and that continues to run. Again, that is about the third time now on this back nine we have seen Bob Long land it, you would think, in a safe spot in that depression just before the green, only for it to kick and continue to roll well past the hole.
Right, we mentioned this during the penultimate round broadcast, but there's a slight downslope on this one green, isn't there, Tom?
There is. It does seem to slant, and this does seem to be a quicker green in general,
right,
from front to back,
side to side even.
all over, in general, quicker. Here is Zach Bullock with his second. So he will have about 4 feet left for birdie. And it looks like it will be Long first to play. They are not removing the flag.
Not yet, at least.
Yeah. So here is Bob Long to save par. As the sun has come back out.
Yes, it has. And for a second, I thought we had a rain scare, but no longer, Tom.
No longer, as Bob Long runs it about 3 feet past the hole. You'll have that coming back for bogey. Kyle Martin now. This would be big. This is for birdie. Oh, and it looks like it rolls left edge of the hole, and he will make par, so he will still gain at least a stroke. It is now to Zach Bullock for his birdie attempt here at the par 4 16th. And he sings his birdie. Says that's Zach Bullock moving to minus 17. Bob Long now for bogey. And Bob Long makes his bogey. So now it is 5 strokes. Bob Long at minus 22. Kyle Martin and Zach Bullock both now at minus 17. 5 strokes with 2 holes to play. Zach Bullock and Kyle Martin both 7 under on the day. Making it tough. Bob Long is still minus 4. But this will be interesting.
What do we have here, Tom? A par 3, is it? Par 4?
This is a par 3. 17th par 3 over the shed.
And you're playing. Do you go right over? I think you have to at this point.
If you're Bullock and Martin, you definitely have to go over. But I don't know if I've seen Bullock play over the shed yet.
He can generate the lift. We'll see.
Can. Looks like he's going over. We'll catch a branch.
Oh.
Oh, too far.
And that's
that
where
will
the
get caught down
inexperience
in-
comes into play, doesn't it, Tom?
Potentially.
The
Potentially.
unfamiliarity with the course.
Yeah, and that's a shot we haven't seen him play often, I don't believe. A stroke he hadn't made yet today, and trying to execute that shot in this moment. It's a tall task. Here's Martin. His attempt. Will he get? And it almost one hops into the hole, it looks, but it was right the whole time, I believe. And now he will have about 10 feet left for birdie. And here is Bob Long, our leader, by 5 strokes, seeking his first Ruffs Golf Championship. Looks like he is going around the back alley, and he does, but that keeps running back towards the hazard. So the sportsmanship back alley was not very sporting to Bob Long there.
No, it was not.
We should probably get a score check.
So Bob needs a good shot here if he wants to keep his lead, Tom.
This is for birdie. And it almost
Excellent
goes
shot.
in. Great shot by Bob Long. He'll have a tap-in par, which he will take right now. Taking his time, wanting to take nothing for granted. And he concludes his par, I should say, to remain at minus 22 for the championship. With one hole to play, Bob Long can definitely taste it now. And there's Kyle Martin for his birdie, and that is a par for Kyle Martin as well. So he remains 5 strokes back. This is a par attempt for Zach Bullock. Oh. Just right of the hole again. How many times have we seen that from Zach Bullock in this back 9?
Quite a few,
That's
Tom.
unfortunate. That is a bogey. Dropping a shot is Zach Bullock back to minus 16. 1 shot behind Kyle Martin, who is 5 shots behind Bob Long, our leader, going into 18th. Again, seeking his first Roughs championship. Can he finish it off?
He's going to need a miracle here in the cage of death, Tom, I think, to gain those 5 strokes on Bob. Bob certainly feeling very comfortable as he walks to the final green, or the final fairway, I should say, the final tee box. Tom, is that the correct term?
Final tee box, that's right. And we're checking the scores. They're taking a long look at it. So this will be interesting if there's a discrepancy. And let's get our confirmation. We're good.
It's
So
confirmed. Well
and
done,
Martin,
Tom.
And Martin, not wasting any time on the very difficult par 4 18th.
Where'd he go?
Not much room. So he went over the batting cages. There's not much room over there.
No.
To go over the batting cage. You got to get it up in the air quickly.
Cage
Let's see
of
what
death.
Bob Long, with 5 strokes, 5-stroke lead for his first championship, elects to do here on the tee, the 18th hole.
Just a lovely afternoon today, Tom.
And he is
Wow.
going over. Will that get caught in the cage?
Into the cage?
It does, into the cage. This will be interesting. Again, he does have the 5-stroke cushion, but not what he wants to see for sure. Here's Zach Bullock with his first of the 18th. Trying to finish off strong. His first ever tournament here at Roughs.
Wow.
That's a good shot.
How about
Got up
that?
in the air. And it'll nestle down nicely. He will have that look for eagle. So Martin and Bullock both coming up with makeable eagle attempts, while Long is in the cage of death.
And who named it that, Tom?
That was Brandon Culp.
New to the
New to the
Roughs.
tournament, and he already has named an important part of this golf course. So quite the contribution here by Brandon in his first
And
year.
how about that? You don't see it often, do you, Tom?
You don't. And just a tremendous player. He was one of those guys who was in the running for the Sportsmanship Award this year. I mean, it felt like everybody's in the running. It's just a great group of guys. And woman, Olivia Ost, can't forget her.
No, but
She hopefully, maybe in the future, we will have some new female competitors and to join the fray. Would love to see that. Always welcome.
certainly,
And if you
Tom.
are interested, you are watching at home and interested in joining the Roughs Annual Golf Classic next year, please don't be shy to reach out to Bob Long. We are live on Bob Long's Facebook. Reach out to Bob, send him a message. He'd love to have you out. It is a great tournament and a lot of fun. That was Bob Long. That was a good second shot to get out of the cage there. It looks like he will finish this off, Alex. What do you think is going through his mind?
A lot of things, Tom. You got to think about the work he's put in, the fame this is going to bring in, the celebrations going on later today. I mean, more importantly, I'm sure he's thinking about making this next shot. Ouch.
Leaves it a little short.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be then a par attempt, and here's the eagle attempt for Martin. And ooh, just misses eagle. Here comes the putter throw. Oh, nope. He's restrained himself. That's right. All right, and very kind of him to take out the flag.
That must be 3 strokes there for Kyle as Bob lines up.
And that was a birdie. A birdie for Kyle to finish off strong. He finishes minus 18. This is Bob Long. Will Zach play first, or will Bob? Does he want to finish it off? It's for the championship. Is this the moment? Not yet. We have to wait at least another shot as Bob Long takes a big, frustrating practice swing there as he misses his par attempt. Zach again. Man, he's left about 4 to 5 strokes, I'd say, on the edge in this back 9. Curious to see what he has to say about it after the round, but a great showing by Zach Bullock in his first ever tournament here at Ruffs.
I'll say, is that third overall there, Tom?
This is a bogey, but more importantly, for the win for Bob Long. Oh, and he misses. We'll have to wait another stroke. So this will be a 6 to finish off. It wasn't pretty, but it means a lot. First-time champion, Bob Long, 2018 Ruffs Golf Classic. Hometown hero. And Alex, what a great tournament Bob played.
Yeah, what a way to finish it off. It was looking a little sketchy coming into the final 3 holes, but Bob held on, and man, did he have a good score today, Tom. Excellent score. I think came down to, what, a minus 20, minus 21? What do you got there in the score booth?
I do indeed have a minus 20. So that would mean he shot minus 1 on the round, minus 169 if my score is correct. I had Zach Bullock at a minus 17 finish for 3rd place, a minus 7 for the day, and Kyle Martin with a minus 18 second place finish and a minus 8 round on the day of 62. Let's have first year player and 3rd place Zach Bullock come into the booth. Zach, great round. First time player, didn't seem fazed by the course at all. Impressed a lot of folks out here, I think, especially with your touch around the greens. Tell us your thoughts on the week.
It's a tough track. It really caught me off guard. I think I came out here for my first round and just didn't expect the challenge that I faced out here at Ruffs. Wish I would have been able to put up a little bit lower numbers the first couple rounds, gave myself a chance, but had a nice 4th round and just had a blast out here. And congratulations to Bob Long. He deserves it.
Great. Congratulations, Zach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And let's have multiple-time champion Kyle Martin. And Bob, your moment will come soon. Kyle,
Hey, Tom.
great tournament as always.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit difficult of a layout this year. Seemed like some players struggled, higher scores than usual. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, the greens were a little different than they have been in years past. Some of the pin placements, especially on the front 9, were a little questionable in terms of the hole being cut. But that's no excuse. I just didn't play as well as I did in years past, and got to give it up to Bob over here. Played a hell of a 2 days.
Yeah, what does that mean to you? I know multiple-time defending champion, but good friends with Bob, one of the co-designers of the golf course. What does it mean for you to see Bob, who's played the bridesmaid, or groomsman, I should say, so many times, best man maybe, I should say, so many times. What does it mean to see him break through in his first championship?
Yeah, it's great. He's put a lot of time and effort into making sure this championship is something that we all look forward to every year. So it's nice for the man who hosts the event to come out on top.
Well, congrats again for another great week, and always great to have you here. And thanks for setting up this great tournament with Bob and Kevin, and congratulations on a great week again, Kyle.
Thank you.
And here he is, the man of the weekend, Bob Long himself. Come on in here. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, Tom.
Simply put, how does it feel?
It feels good. It was definitely a challenging weekend. I just thought that we had quite arguably our best field that we've had. Bringing in Zach, I think, was a great addition, and I think that provided for a lot of intrigue throughout the weekend. I also thought that what we had in the round before us was truly unbelievable. I thought that was a lot of fun and just a great way to end the weekend. So, I'm fired up, certainly, but I'm also just as happy for how well the weekend went.
How'd you feel about your final round today? You put together a tournament in which we saw, I think you were the only player, or maybe Zach, to play all of your rounds under par. One of two players, I believe, to play all around under par, and you just seem to be in the zone all week long. Tell us about that, your mind frame coming in this year, and what put you over the hump finally.
Hitting putts, I think. I mean, to be honest with you, I think honestly the back 9 green is really the first time all weekend that I don't know that I wasn't like getting what I needed to go. Really, the other 7, 9 hole stretches, I felt that I was really comfortable on the green. I guess I heard some comments otherwise from some folks, but for whatever reason, I was just kind of getting in the mindset back and through, and I think hitting putts was the reason I won, to be honest with you.
Now, Bob, we know you've been a champion in other areas of life. We know you are a man with an MBA from Villanova University. We saw your beautiful fiance meet you after the 18th green, Mara. You have a wedding coming up in September. Where does this moment rank amongst all that?
Thanks for putting me on the spot. She's standing right there.
Answer carefully.
Behind all of that. Very excited for the wedding. Really excited about the next stage in life. This is pretty cool, though. I've been trying to win this for a long time.